Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sarah Wiseman. Today we are talking about, is mainstream psychology helpful? And I don't know if you're tracking on the same algorithms that I'm tracking on. A lot of my news feed is related to, 7 signs of a toxic relationship or 4 ways to set boundaries with your friends, or is there a narcissist in your life? And yeah, great, those are all good. It's very, very important. It's crucial, in fact, to our evolution that some of these terms about relationship have come into our vocabulary collectively. The idea of a toxic relationship being emotionally harmful, the idea of emotional abuse, dysfunction, the drama and drain, the idea of empathic. I'm just laying, these aren't quite in order, but like empathic overwhelm, like ADD, Asperger's, all of the conversations around racism, genderism, ableism, body shaming. And there was one other, the whole narcissist discussion. Do you have a narcissist partner, narcissist ex, narcissist parent? Are you a narcissist, etc.? So we have a lot of new terms that we're getting, and this used to be, back in the older days, you'd go to a therapist, maybe a psychiatrist, and they'd be like, oh, you have this mental illness, like you have bipolar, or you have schizophrenia, and you'd go home with this diagnosis and get some medication, and that would be it. Like, it wasn't necessarily discussed, or it was shameful to discuss something like that, some kind of mental health diagnosis. Nowadays, those terms are widely, if not understood completely, because I don't think we do understand as lay people. I don't think we understand the complexities that are being discussed when a professional in that field uses those terms. I don't think we understand the same level as that person that's their field. But we do have a working knowledge of those terms, and here we are just putting them into the conversation, this bigger conversation that's happening, especially on social media and in various groups and things that we're in. So on the one hand, I think it's incredibly helpful. On the other hand, I think it can be confusing, because sometimes we're throwing around terms that we don't actually understand fully, or we may be misusing. Now, certainly, most of us have people in our lives with narcissist tendencies. Do we have people in our lives that are full-blown narcissists? Some of us do, some of us don't. But there's this tendency to put that label, the extreme label, on somebody that maybe has more, shades of gray to them, or maybe that's a part of their personality but isn't the whole story. Or, maybe when we talk about boundaries, some of us have like hardcore steel wall boundaries, and other of us, maybe our boundary is that we would have soy milk instead of oat milk, and that's fine. Maybe we have a looser range of boundaries. So there's this idea that we're using this language, but not everybody's hearing it the exact same way, which is okay. We're learning how to use some of these ideas. And I find this also is true spiritually. Like there's a lot of spiritual, not spiritual, say spiritual bypass, that would be another term. There's a lot of much bigger understanding of spiritual technique in the larger conversation that's going on, social media, news feeds, and so forth, and also in terms of just people that you meet around doing different groups and different things, and yet a lot of it is not the deeper work. Like it has all the trappings, but it's not the deep stuff. So I just like to kind of, when I ever feel bombarded by an article or a podcast or a video or a group or a situation or a conversation where there's a lot of reliance on all of these terms, I just kind of take a pause and sort of, take a pause, take a beat. I just kind of relax and I try and hone in on what is the root of what's being said or expressed, or what is that person actually feeling, and what is that person actually trying to achieve or create, or what problem are they trying to solve. Sometimes it's the stepping back from the story or the narrative. You just step back from all the words being thrown at you, all the new words, just like, okay, what's this actually about? And it's often about something a lot simpler. The things we want to be loved, we want to be valued, we want to be treated with kindness and compassion, and we at our highest level, we want all of those things for others too. We don't just want it for ourselves. So I think in terms of looking at all the new languaging, sort of accepting that people are using different words in different ways, and we're saying the same words, but we may not be having the same discussion. And then for your own self, or at least for myself, just taking that pause and asking questions like, how do you feel? Or what does that bring up for you? Or that's really rough. I feel it. And just keep going towards the deeper truth that person is trying to create with this new vocabulary. I think that as we continue the conversation using, it's almost like a new psychology, or psychology and spirituality is starting to combine, which is fantastic. I think as we start to get there, again, this oneness starts to become the place we navigate from. We start to navigate from a place of oneness. There we say, oh, there's somebody else in the oneness with me. I'm going to go check in how they're feeling. Oh, there's another person. They look kind of different, or they act kind of different, but yeah, they're in the oneness with me too. So I'm going to go check in with them. We start to navigate from this place of oneness. Our unique little water drop in the big pool of water drops melding and merging together can't get away from the other water drops, because we're all the same water. So we just start to work from that point, and then the conversations get easier. They become less reliant on words and more the heartfelt and the soul-felt connection. That is where the deeper truths are. Anyway, I'm Sarah Wiseman, and you can find me at sarahwiseman.com.